y'all? This is your boy Ken, aka Pimpin Ken. You're watching the View from the Game. Thank you for tuning in. If you're on Instagram, you watch me live at RealPimpKen_. I am the actual man behind the Instagram. Yes, I do answer my DMs. When you DMing me. Hey, but check this out, man. While I got your attention, make sure you go get my book, The 48 Laws of Game. That's right, Pimp Violence, The 48 Laws of Game. You can get it at audible.com. All you gotta do is type my name, Pimpin Ken. When you get to audible.com, and this book, as well as my other book, The Art of Human Chess. This is the book everybody's talking about. This is the book that your daddy should have taught you about. Everything that your daddy didn't teach you the game, it's in this book right here. And The Art of Human Chess, a study guide to win, teach you how to maneuver, teach you how to finesse, teach you how to play chess, teach you how to outsmart your enemy. You got to get my books, classics. Hey man, also man, make sure you subscribe, like, and make sure you let everybody know through notification where to come and get this joint at by sharing. And also, I'm also the proprietor and the owner of HHF Mag, HHF Clothing, HHF Awards, and HHF Radio. Hey man, stay tuned, man, and go to thehiphopopportunity.com and check us out. And every Monday, we at the Ice Bar. That's right, 5456 Fayetteville Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Every artist get in free. Every A&R get in free. Every executive get in free. Everybody is free. Artists get to perform for free, and you get to park for free. It's the only free game in town. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing today? And once again, this is your host, Pimpin Ken, aka Ken Isley. You're watching the View from the Game, and today I got a special guest, man, all the way from Sacramento, by way of Atlanta, by way of Miami. Hey, man, he got 52 zip codes. He stay in game mode. They call him the Game Guy. What's up, baby?
Man, what's going on with it? Appreciate you having me on.
Same thing, same toilet, man. You know, I've been sitting here, man, you know, and I was trying to figure out some of the things that I was going to ask you, man. I said, man, this brother here, you know, he does a lot of things. He work out, you know, he give a lot of positive information on IG all the time. So we're just going to go to different places. And I want to just, first of all, just, you know, let the people know where it all started from. So where was you born and how was your upbringing?
Man, I was born in Sacramento, California. And, you know, around the time that I grew up in Sac, man, there wasn't much going on out there, you know. Shoot, from my house, you could see as far as the eye could see to downtown, you know, and I'm out in the suburbs. So It wasn't much going on. So, you know, that got me into a lot of trouble. And, you know, that's where I started. That's my origin story. Wasn't much going on. So I was always looking for something. And, you know, by way of my uncle moving down the corner from me, you know, coming from the Bay Area, coming from Oakland, California with the sauce and the swag and the game, you know, that type of thing attracted me. And because it was so little going on where I was from, that really attracted me. And I got turned on to that. And, you know, the rest is history.
Okay, so Sacramento, the Bay Area, Frisco, you know, it's a lot of game coming from, you know, they call it the West Coast Division, right?
You know what I'm saying?
You know my man from Sac, he be down there, Grandmaster.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's my partner, man.
Big game, heavy game.
Yeah, we just did No Jumper together, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We was on there together, man, chopping up game. You know, my man Fillmore.
Oh, of course.
Too Short, of course, E40. Yeah. So growing up in that area, man, you know, with all that game and being a youngster, even though you was in the suburbs, I know you was, you know, hear stuff like, man, the town and, you know what I mean? You know, Red Mouth and all that, you know what I mean? How did that affect you? Did that make you say, okay, man, you know, all these guys, man, in the entertainment business, they keep spitting this game, E40 spitting the LRPs and Too Short, of course, you know, Born the Mac and so on and so forth. How did that influence you to become the game guy? Because that's a hell of a terminology to say that. You know, when you say you're the game guy, that's like saying, you know, man, I got all the game.
Hey, listen, you know how it go. When you young and you in impressionable, you looking at everybody who's doing things. Some people gravitated towards the gangbangers and the dope dealers. I gravitated towards, you know, players, you know, who was having it their way. And I was just infatuated with it. And the fact that I had somebody in my family who had that going on and I was able to see the inside of what it actually looked like, it just really turned me on. And then, you know, I'm not from the Bay, I'm from Sac, but the Bay is close, you know, so I get a lot of my flavor from, you know, the people that I used to see out there. That's really what it is or what it was when I was coming up. So where a lot of people was chasing, you know, gang banging and dope dealing, where I was from, everybody wanted to be a player, you know, so that's just what it was. So that's what we idolized, what I idolized. And, you know, I just jumped in head first with it.
Okay, so you said you had some kin folks that was in the game. You talking about like in the game?
You know, they was in the game. You know, I ain't gonna put their business out there.
I ain't
they
saying
was,
their name.
yeah. They was in the game. You know, they was doing their thing. You know, I got a story like when it all clicked for me. You know, I'm just living my regular life, and my uncle moved up the street. He come down the street, and at the time, a Hummer H2. He had 30s on, 30 in the back. A broad sitting next to him, two in the back, a bitch 4-door Benz and 2-door Benz. All these women living in the house, and something clicked in my mind. Like, damn, I didn't even know this was possible. I got to figure out what this shit is about because I want to live like that.
So that's how you got into polygamy.
Yeah. That's what got me into polygamy. Knowing that you didn't have to lie to a woman, you could let her know what it is, and you could still have it your way.
So when you was growing up, was you a ladies' man? When you know that the girls was attracted to you, you started having your way with the females.
Man, you know, I was always a ladies' man. Women always found me attractive, and that hindered my game.
Right.
Because I didn't have to say much to get a woman. I never had to develop conversation.
Right.
You know, so I developed my conversation later, understanding that I really wanted to have a lot of women. But when I was coming up, I didn't have no conversation because women just liked me.
Right. So when women just like you, right? I mean, did you, from the perspective of being chose, or just just on some girlfriend boyfriend type stuff?
As far as when you saying chosen game or just,
I mean, like when you said the women like you talking about squares, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, they would like me, they would want to do stuff with me, they would call me, they would be blowing up my house phone when it was still house phones, and my mom would have to keep all these girls calling your phone, so they was choosing. And you know, because that's how it was for me, that's how I still operate, and that's my ideology even throughout the game. I was always the one of hearing, you got to put yourself in position to be chose. You know, so because I came up like that, that's the same ideology I still run off. And that's what I push all the time. Make yourself the best version of yourself and put yourself in position to be discovered. And you ain't got to chase. You're going to get chose. Okay, well, I speak from my perspective. When I was 16, that's when I broke my first bitch, right? And I say that because at that point, you know what I mean, all that free sex and all that, it ended for me, right? So I know when you attractive young man and women is throwing themselves at you. I mean, where did you develop the mentality, man? You know, I'm not gonna let my little head beat my big head, and I'm not gonna be, because all these women are attractive, I'm not gonna be just having sex and giving away my trophy. Well, you know, that was a game that my uncle taught me. Okay. You know, he let me know off the dribble, if she wants that bad from you, then it's valuable. And if it's valuable, you can't give it up for free because then she'll devalue it. So early on, I understood it didn't matter what I wanted. I knew as soon as I gave away my power, I wouldn't be able to get anything more out of the situation. My uncle used to tell me like this, man, you can't just go around having sex with a woman off the dribble. Mm-hmm. You know, because if you have sex with her off the dribble, you could, if she wanted it that bad from you, she might have did a whole lot for you to get it. But now you just gave away what she wanted. So why would she give you anything? Yeah, you said something very important because in my book, The 48 Laws of the Game, my first chapter, I talk about, value. And I said, a man got to be like a Picasso, like a Mona Lisa. He got to be valuable. You know what I'm saying? Because if, a woman can try you before she buy you, like B.B. King say, the thrill is gone. So, you know what I'm saying? I can identify what you say. So now, what do you say about the men out there, right, that the beta men who allows themselves to be, devalued by women? I had a perspective, right? I don't know. I'm gonna let you speak on it. So I said a lot of guys, what they do is they end up in sticky situations, right? And most of them, not all of them are prone to this, but they grew up with their parents or their mother, and their mother, usually be, the alpha female. She's the controller of the household. So a lot of these dudes, that I noticed, right, gang guy, I see that a lot of them become weak, to alpha females because that's what their mother was. I call them mommy's boys. So, and I think that that's caused a lot of destruction between the male-female relationship, in particular when it comes to alpha males. No, 100%. I mean, you said it right there. How can I learn to be something I never saw? You didn't have a man in the household. How can you become a man? Mm-hmm. And your relationship with women is going to be based off of what you saw your mom doing and what your mom is going to tell you. Your mom is going to tell you what she wants from a man, which may not even be what she respects from a man, but she's going to teach you that's what you should do. Mm-hmm. So it's backwards because if you're not seeing a representation of an alpha male, you'll never know how to be that. And then you'll get with these women who are acting like your mom used to act in this alpha position. And you'll just understand that, well, that's normal. I've always been in a subservient position to my mom, who was an alpha, took on an alpha role. So that transition and that takes place in a regular relationships.
Man, that's deep. And I can even go as far as saying, a lot of these guys also, right, they allow their little man, they allow sex to be the reason.
That's a fact.
And I think that, if you tend under the zipper, if you can't control your Johnson, then, I think that that's when you lose your power as well.
Yeah, you lose your power because a woman's not going to respect a man who thinks with his little head and not his big head, because every dude that she meets is trying to have sex with. So when she sees that you weak for her like that and she can manipulate you and control you by way of sex, you drop your principles by way of sex, she no longer respects you. She puts you in the same category as a trick or in the same category of all the other dudes she deals with. But when you're the opposite and you think with your big head and you're not going to fold on your morals or your principles because you need sex or anything like that, she has a newfound respect for you because you 1 in a million, one in 10 million,
Absolutely. And that was one of my keys to being a successful P back in the day. A lot of guys said, Ken, how did you do it? I mean, man, hey, man, I had sex control, man. I didn't just really, a broad had to wait 3 or 4 months before she get to even look at me on that level, because I believe that, like you said. And then another thing, God, and I'm going to say this, I know you probably can identify what I'm saying. Whenever you do meet a woman and you have sex with her on the first date, not only do you lose your power, but you lose your respect because she's going to think that you're doing that with everybody that you see.
Man, I'm glad you said that. I say that all the time. I said this the other day. When a woman sees that you're weak for sex, when you can't control your urges for sex, when you maybe even be tricking on her, she can no longer trust you in a relationship because she understands that you did that with her. You're going to do it to everybody else when she's with you. And if she wants to have a family with you, a relationship with you, in the back of her mind, she can never trust a man who might be supporting the household, a man weak for sex who tricked on her. You might trick the money off of the household with another woman. So not only does she not respect you, but if she gets with you, she's not going to trust you. And there's going to be a whole lot of problems, all deriving from the fact that you think with your little head and not your big head.
When I was a kid, my daddy told me, he said, Ken, whatever you do, man, never confess to a woman. And I made a mistake of doing it one time, right? The gay guy, I told his bro, I said, yeah, whatever, woo to woo, you know what I'm saying? And man, it was like every time we would get in a situation where it was a disagreement, she would keep reliving that situation. So what do you say to the young brothers, man, who get out there, man, and they actually believe that a female is going to accept them, and I'm talking to the squares, accept them cheating on them. You know what I'm saying? Then you come on and you admit to cheat and you don't expect World War III.
Man, well, I'll say this by way of Mel Taylor: a well-placed truth is better than a lie. And I say that to say this: there's no benefit in exposing something to a woman that you didn't want exposed because she's only going to use it against
you. Yeah, and that's, I think that's one of the problems that we see, in the alpha female situation. A lot of these guys, man, I know dudes that's 6'8", right? They got women 5'3". I said, man, let's go to the game. He said, man, my woman tripping. Can't go.
Yeah. And that's a shame. That's a shame that you can't live your life the way you want to. Your woman doesn't really respect you if you can't do what you want. How can you call yourself the king of the household if you can't do what you want, when you want, and how you want? You should be telling her what you gonna do, not asking permission.
Mm-hmm.
I find it really troubling seeing these dudes living quiet lives of desperation because they've been bent and guilty to the woman and felt they needed to do that to get her. If you had to do that to get her, you don't really need her because it's a woman out there you didn't have to do that to that would have dealt with you, but instead you wanted to get the one that you was chasing instead of one that wanted you.
Right.